Hi guys, how's it going? LeeJ2512 here. A lot of people have been asking me to do a proper review of the Harry Potter studio tour. I know I did the haul video with everything that I bought and the uh, the narrated video of all the pictures that I took, but I didn't really include any of my proper opinions and views and all that kind of stuff. And I never went into much detail because I didn't have the time. The pictures moved on too quickly. But I wrote an actual review on TripAdvisor about the tour, and yeah, I'm just going to be pretty much reading that. So I'm going to start from the beginning. There's literally so much to remember, and I hope I remember all of it. Gemma and I went to London for the honeymoon. You've seen the video. You've seen the whole video when we were in the hotel. And I've been a huge fan of Harry Potter for about 11 years. It was only right that we went to the studio tour as part of a honeymoon trip. Another tour was quite a bit away from our hotel. It was in Covent Garden, but I didn't think it was too far away. So I ordered a taxi to the tour. Word of warning, do not order a taxi from central London to the tour. I was kind of stupid with that. The taxi ended up costing about £85, which put Gemma in a bit of a mood for the first half hour. On the second day, we got the shuttle bus that was cheap and took us straight to the tour. It was about maybe £4, £3. We only had to go on the tube to get to the bus stop point in Watford Junction, and then from Watford Junction took us straight to the tour. The arrival there, once we got into the premises in the taxi, we got to the kind of roundabout just leading into the car park. Our taxi was stopped by a couple of security people, checking that people had actually had tickets to go in, because tickets aren't for sale at the actual tour. You have to pre-book. So once I showed them our vouchers for the tickets, they politely said that we could go through. They weren't intimidating in the slightest, and they were quite friendly for the 20 seconds we saw of them. We just handed them out, and they gave it back. When we were dropped off, we saw how huge it was. The whole premises, it was absolutely massive. And it looks quite big and empty on the outside. The car park is full of cars, but everything is so spaced out it doesn't feel crowded or cramped. There are the actual wizard's chess pieces from the Philosopher's Stone just on display in the car park, which look brilliant. The ticket booths are pretty much next to the entrance, and the staff there are so friendly and happy. It's like they have their dream job, which it would be. There are automated machines that you can use to get your tickets, which a member of staff show you to and help you work it, or there are actual ticket booths that you can go to get the tickets, and people will serve you, which we did both days. As you know, I have a Deathly Hallows tattoo on my arm, and the friendly lady there noticed it and said that she had one too. She sounded really cheerful, and we talked for a couple of minutes about Deathly Hallows tattoos and how we weren't ashamed to show it off. It put us in even more of a good mood. She handed us our tickets, and within a few minutes we walked into the building. The entrance area was we walked in, and as soon as we entered the building, there were hand casts on the right of the main trio: Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson. Their handprints had moulds on display. My hands fit Rupert Grint's, and Gemma's hands fit Emma Watson's. You can just put your hand in and see that kind of stuff. We went further in and saw the cafe on the left-hand side. The cafe was pretty good. We went on the second day to get Gemma got a coffee, but I can't remember how much they were. The bathrooms were straight ahead as soon as you walk in the building. The waiting area to enter the tour was to the right of the bathrooms, where you can see the cupboard under the stairs, and there's a bit of reading material, and you just stand for a few minutes. There were really quite high tables stationed nearby in case anyone wanted to set their bags down for a second or drink coffee while waiting for the tour. The gift shop was on the right hand side, and the brilliant gift shop, but kind of expensive. Further on in the right in the corner were the areas to get the digital guides. They cost about £5 each, and they're narrated by Tom Felton, who plays Draco Malfoy. They pretty much tell you to go to certain areas in the tour, and Tom Felton gives you a bit of backstory and details you might not have known before. We didn't go for the digital guides. We kind of wanted to explore on our own, so we didn't buy them. But there were many people there. Then to the other right, the right was the entrance hall. Was there was a cloakroom, which is a truly fantastic idea. They take your things for you, whether that be a pram, bags, coats, or even bags from the gift shop. They give you a little raffle ticket and they look after your things for you, so you aren't lugging bags around the tour. I loved this idea. We went to the gift shop beforehand, before we went into the tour, while we were waiting, and I am so glad we didn't have to carry around huge bags while walking around the sets. The gift shop was a treat in of itself. Yes, the prices are a bit steep, but there are only maybe 2 or 3 places in the world where you can go into a shop and buy these instead of going on eBay. The walls behind the till are actually lined with the actual Gringotts Bank set walls. There are lanterns from Slughorn's office hanging from the ceiling. It truly is fantastic. Well, I went in there like a kid in a candy shop, really. I picked a couple of things up and it came to 50 quid. Luckily, we saved a lot of money purely for the intention of spending in the tour gift shop. In all, over the 2 days, we spent roughly £350 just in the gift shop alone. Because I had trouble finding what the gift shop actually had for sale, I thought I would mention a couple of things that I got. You saw it in the video, but if you didn't hear us, the wands were about £25 each. The chocolate frogs, about £9. Honeydukes, dark chocolate bar. You get pygmy puffs, quaffle, sneakoscopes, remember-alls, various t-shirts that ranged in price, extendable ears, Triwizard Dragon pouch, which was like a purple felt bag, and there was little toy figures from the Goblet of Fire, toy dragons. Bertie bought beans, and I think there were boxing telescopes. I only saw one, but the box was empty, so I'm guessing someone stole it, which is just ridiculous. There was only one empty box on the shelf, so I'm guessing someone stole it. Other than that, I tried to find it, but I couldn't find it. I can't remember all the prices. We didn't keep the receipt after, but if you want to find out the prices, I'm pretty sure I go into detail about it in the haul video. Anyway, after spending a small fortune at the gift shop, we went back into the entrance bit and waited for our allotted 1 PM time. It said in the ticket we could attend the tour anytime from 1 PM to 1:30 PM. The very nice guy who checked the tickets in the waiting area noticed us and said, "You can wait here now if you want. People tend to get in a little bit early." Now, this was around about 12:30, so we checked our tickets and said, "Have a lovely time, hope you enjoy yourselves," and was a very cheerful man. We waited until around about 1:45. Then the doors opened and they said we could go in 15 minutes early. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but what follows is a room where you are led into a kind of smallish room, and you have to stand, and your guide tells you a little bit about the backstory of the series. He asks people how far they've come to beat the tour. Germany, Scotland, America, France. He shows a 5-minute film on about 6 little different screens around the room so everyone can see. Then leads you into the next room, which is quite like a cinema. There's loads of cinema seats and a big screen. You sit down in the seats and watch a 15-minute video going further into detail purely in the films themselves. It's on a huge cinema screen, so you really feel immersed and excited for what is to follow. There is a huge surprise that I will not ruin for you, but when it happens you will be very, very excited and happy. The tour itself, the first area you go into is the fabulous Great Hall, with costumes all around the room. You can walk through the actual Great Hall doors, which made me giggle with excitement like a little girl. This is the only time that your guide stays with you. After the Great Hall, you are free to roam about as you please. The only rule is, you can't go back. You can take the tour at your own pace, but to save congestion and to make sure everybody goes through at a regular pace, you can't go back the way, which makes sense totally. So make sure you're happy with how long you've spent in an area before you move on, because you won't be able to go back. I won't go into detail about what sets and props were where, but some of the sets included are Dumbledore's office, Hagrid's hut, the Burrow kitchen. Some parts were interactable if you hover your hand over a button. The potions classroom, Dolores Umbridge's ministry office. the Gryffindor dormitory, Gryffindor common room. There's so many more, and there are too many props to mention, but they're a very nice surprise when you see them, and everyone will definitely have a, oh my god, I remember that moment with a prop, or the set as well, obviously. There's also the really brilliant broomstick riding area where you can go in a room, go sit in a little green screen area and pretend to drive the Ford Anglia, with a member of staff pointing the camera at you and asking you to do these motions to pretend you're flying, like having your arms in the air. A lot of people said they had quite a long wait, but I'm not sure if we were just lucky, but there was only maybe 2 people in the line when we were there. We waited maybe 2 minutes to get in. You could get to ride a broomstick, and there were maybe 6 broomsticks stationed, and my wife and I just had to go and try it out. You get handed a random robe. I got Hufflepuff and Gemma got Ravenclaw, and you go and sit in the broom. Since I'm a bit big, I struggle to get my legs all the way up to the footrest. The member of staff there says, look at the camera, move your arm along the floor to pretend that you're flying. It kind of feels embarrassing at the time, but it's so much fun and you don't regret it. You want to do it again straight after. You get led into a room so you can choose which photos you want to buy. They come in packages with one photo costing £12, or you could get 4 photos for £20. Kind of like a package deal. They give you a selection of photos of you on the broomstick or the Ford Anglia with various backdrops, and you choose which one you want. The staff are really friendly, and they don't look fed up or anything, which is surprising considering they have to do it thousands of times a day. Before you leave the first studio, there's a massive glass display cabinet that shows little paper props that you will have seen before. I guarantee you, like the Daily Prophets, Dumbledore's Will, the very first chocolate frog Harry eats in the train to Hogwarts in the first film, the Marauder's Map, Hogwarts Express tickets, Ron's Howler, the Quibblers, Rita Skeeter's book, potions books, sweet wrappers, many, many, many more. This is by far my favourite area. Just it goes to show the amount of detail that they went into making. They made cereal boxes just for the Burrow set, that kind of stuff. The back lot is the in between section between studios J and K. And this is the area for people to relax, get something to eat, drink, and have a sit down. There are many benches available, so there are never any shortages and nowhere to sit. This is also the area where you get butterbeer, possibly one of the tastiest things I've drunk in my life. It's like a cross between ice cream and cream soda. It's basically fizzy ice cream. It's absolutely delicious. The prices for it are £2.95 for it in a disposable cup that you throw away, or £4.95 for it, but it comes in a plastic cup that you can keep and take home and cherish, which we did. There's also a little sandwich bar right next to the butterbeer area, so you can get sandwiches and cold drinks there too. No idea if they sold coffee, neither me or Gemma could remember, as we just had 2 sandwiches, which were delicious. They were packed with filling and really nice soft bread. The main thing for the back lot is the amount of outdoor sets it has. There's more famous outdoor sets, including Ford Privet Drive, which you can actually go up to and knock on the door. You can't get in though, obviously. Its neighbour, number 3 Privet Drive, is there. The actual Potter's cottage that has the massive hole in the building from Voldemort. Spoiler, killing Harry's parents, end of spoiler. And the Hogwarts Bridge, yes, you can actually walk on the Hogwarts Bridge. And also there is Tom Riddle's grave from the Goblet of Fire. It has benches around it, so people are actually sat right in front of it, so good luck taking a picture of it without getting a stranger in the picture. Also included are the night bus that you can get inside and stand on, and the Ford Anglia, which you can sit in and pretend to drive. All these are right next to the tables and benches, so it feels really relaxed. More of the chess pieces from the first film are lined around the area underneath some shelter, so it adds to the atmosphere a little bit. Then after you've had a rest, you enter the second studio, which is all about special effects and props, makeup, concept art, etc, etc. I won't go into any more detail than that, other than it is absolutely amazing. You find out hidden secrets from the production team, things that you will never have heard before. A few things surprise me. There are also more interactable bits, like if you press a button, Hedwig will turn her head around, or the mandrake will come out of its pot, or the Voldemort soul thing will lift its head and breathe very creepily. You also find some hidden things about werewolves and Hagrid, which I was surprised about. A little further on you get the chance to walk up the actual Diagon alley, as in walk up the cobble path up from Gringotts up to Weasley Wizard Wheezes. It's too fantastic for words. Obviously there are no shops to go into, just the shop fronts and doorways, but you can stand outside Ollivander's, Gringotts, Weasley Wizard Wheezes, Fortescue's Ice Cream Parlour, Flourish and Blots, which has many Gilderoy Lockhart books in the window. There's too many shops to mention and so much detail in every window and prop. I remember Fortescue's Ice Cream Parlour has miniature chairs on top of the window. I don't know why that's there. Then it's onto the concept art area where you can see the concept art sketches, beautifully painted, then made into little white card paper models so the crew could see where everything was. I loved art there. It was kind of Gemma's favourite area. It gave the names of the artists in case you wanted to look them up afterwards. A little further on is the biggest surprise you will see. I guarantee everyone's jaws will drop as soon as you enter the second last room of the tour, but I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. I did take pictures of it, but when I got back to the hotel, my phone didn't store any of them for some reason, which was absolutely heartbreaking. The next room is quite shocking as well. It contains thousands of wand boxes, and they all have individual labels on them, which has the name of every single person who has worked on any of the 8 films ever. Past and present crew members, cast, directors, etc. Anyone who contributed to the epic film saga has a wand box with their name on it, and it's not in order of who's most important, it is sorted alphabetically. Then after that room, you end up in the gift shop, which we had one more look around and left to pick up our things from the cloakroom. I panicked because the lady in the cloakroom, she was taking quite a while looking for my things. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes went past, and then she came out, asked another member of staff, and asked him, do you know where this bag is? And my heart sank. I just thought, oh no, I can't afford to lose £150 worth of gifts. But then a minute later, she found I am. I never had any problem getting my items back on the second day, so I don't think it's a regular thing, and I'm sure they never lost any item. We went outside and waited for the next shuttle bus. They run maybe every half an hour, so there will always be one soon. It's a double-decker bus, and it does get quite crowded if you're late in getting on, so maybe go early at the bus stop. Gemma and I were the first ones on the bus, and there were people that had to get turned away because it was full. On the way back to Watford Junction, a little video narrated by Warwick Davis, who plays Professor Flitwick in Griphook. He thanks you for coming and wishes you will visit again. The bus cost, I think it was about £3, I can't remember. The only difference between day 1 of going and day 2 of going is in the morning we decided not to spend £85 in a taxi, and we caught the tube to Watford Junction where we got the shuttle bus. It took around half an hour to get there by tube. It literally just get off a train and straight on another one. It was very easy to go from central London to Watford Junction. Last thing, overall, I realise this review is huge, but it's just because I've tried to be very descriptive while talking about it, while trying not to spoil anything major. There is so much to remember, it's hard to get it all and mention a lot without spoiling anything big. So if I sound a bit vague at some points, it is because you should experience it for yourself. The tour is fantastic, and I definitely am looking forward to going back. I'm actually going back in October this year, 2013, as like a little holiday for the wedding anniversary. The staff were so helpful, friendly, and just act like they have the perfect job. It really feels familiar there when you arrive, and stays with you until you leave. I hope I remembered everything, as this is one place you will not forget in a hurry. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Okay, bye.